Alright, so I know it's WrestleMania weekend, and I know everyone right now is mostly just going to be talking about WWE and all that. But in this video, I want to try and separate the conversation and talk about its competition, AEW. And no, this is not about the product. This is not about, me talking about, everything going on. This is me talking about one specific wrestler. Because I have been trying to make this video for, 2 months or so, maybe even longer than that. Hell, actually not, probably 3 or 4 months. But I held back on making it because I thought things would change. But right now, currently, since it's a full year since I've seen this guy now being AEW, I had to make this video. Josh Alexander. God, it's absolutely crazy how I can look at this guy and realize that it's now been a full year since he joined AEW after he left TNA. And I've said it multiple times in Discord servers, but now I'm going to finally say it here on YouTube. I think Josh Alexander had the most disappointing first year in AEW history in terms of all the wrestlers that I've seen. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of everything that this man has accomplished before he joined AEW. If you guys have no clue, I just said it earlier, Josh Alexander was in TNA. And you could argue is probably one of the most successful wrestlers in that company. He was the face of that company. He's one half of the longest reigning TNA World Tag Team Champions, with Ethan Page as the North, holding the belts for 380 days, I'm pretty sure. And then just 2 years later, he goes on to become the longest reigning TNA World Champion, breaking Robert Roode's record, which at that time had not been broken in 11 years. Now, to have that honor and that prestige is very rare, but making it clear that Josh Alexander was going to be positioned as the face of the company, and with the fact that he was one of the best wrestlers in the world, it made a lot of sense to make him the face of TNA and the standard of TNA. Before, of course, he lost that honor to Mike Santana, who was going to be the next new face of the company like he currently is nowadays. So, when he left TNA, he left a major success and had a great run with that company. So when he was now had the opportunity to join either WWE or AEW, you're potentially looking at one of the biggest free agents in all of wrestling. And as much as the debate was, and as much as the bidding war was for WWE to try and get close to signing him, he eventually signed with AEW. And his first match was against Hangman Adam Page in the Owen Hart tournament, in which he lost, which is fine, because Hangman Adam Page was the most likely to win. But he attacked him and joined the Don Callis family. And if you guys have watched my videos, y'all already know how I feel about the Don Callis family. I absolutely hate that group, because to me, the group does nothing for anyone that's in there except for a few wrestlers. And currently right now, I will say, before I want to try and break the conversation, I did say in the last time I talked about Don Callis that I said I don't know where Andrade would go. I didn't know where Jake Doyle would go. I know Jake Doyle is injured, but Andrade has proved me wrong. He's had a great push so far, because at least he's in the world title scene. But the same cannot be said about Josh Alexander. Because in just 1 year, they took a guy who was pretty much the face of TNA and made him a complete non-factor. Because his first 2 months, he was mostly just losing a lot of matches. Despite how talented he is, he mostly just went out there and took the pinfall. And as months went on and on and on, yeah, he got a tag title shot at AEW All Out in a ladder match. And yeah, he was a part of the Trios match, where it was him and the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega at AEW Full Gear. But here's the issue with those. Despite him getting those opportunities, he's barely even the most important person in those matches. Like in the Trios match, it was not even about Josh Alexander. It was about the Young Bucks trying to get back their money because they were broke. And in order for them to try and feel like they had the opportunity to try and get it, was beating Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega, guys that they had beef with at the time. So Josh Alexander getting thrown into it, he was mostly the most odd man out of the group. And he didn't even get the pinfall, as it was a member of the Young Bucks who did. And then, again, as months went on, there was the whole injury with Kota Ibushi, and the fact that he got a shot at the TNT title, the CMLL World title, and he didn't win any of those opportunities. Despite how gifted he is, he still had yet to win a championship. Now, I know, yes, in Maple Leaf Pro, he did win I think their world championship, I'm pretty sure. Um, Either one of those. I might be wrong on that one. I have to do more information about it after this video. But regardless, this guy is very talented and has done so much in TNA, but doesn't get any credit in AEW. And this has been the main thing that I've said to a lot of people. People like to call this situation the TNA curse, where a TNA star leaves TNA after having a great career there and doesn't do much in AEW. Now, I will say there is one person that has broken that, and that is Mike Bailey. He's had a great run so far in AEW. But Josh Alexander, despite him being the face of the company, has no championship to prove it. And right now, currently, he's injured, so it does suck. I hope for a fast and full recovery. But it's flat out insane how this guy hasn't gotten anything. Like, I'm watching the wrestlers that are in the Don Callis family and realizing how talented they are, and the one person that stands out the most to me is Josh Alexander. Not by gimmick, not by just his presentation, by how talented of a performer he is. But that's just how it is in Don Callis family. I said it in that video. You have a whole lot of talented wrestlers, but boring characters. Like, what does Rocky Romero do in that group? Why should I care about Trent Beretta? Why should I care about Lance Archer? Why should I care about these certain people that are in the faction when they do nothing? They're mostly the guys who just eat pinfalls. They're mostly just useless. And that's the major issue I have with this group. This group, to me, has proven time and time again that it doesn't matter who joins. If you don't have that major presentation, you are useless in this group, and you do nothing to advance it. That's why I say guys like Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, Okada, and right now Andrade, and even Mark Davis do more for this group, more than the others. Henchicero as well. At that point, you can count that as the faction. Well, actually, Takeshita and Okada on the separate ways, because Takeshita gave Okada the middle finger. But, anyways, I want to hope and pray that when Josh Alexander comes back, that Tony Khan books his run far better than what I saw last year. Because I was so pissed off that this guy, despite everything he did in wrestling, gets treated like this in just his first year in AEW. But that's all I gotta say, man. Oh yeah, one more thing. I think it's pretty funny the fact that Ethan Page didn't have a good AEW run and is having a far superior run in NXT compared to everything else Josh Alexander's doing. So yeah, Tony Khan, when Josh Alexander comes back, please get your act together.